People who think they have a God-given purpose are doing the cruelest things on the planet. Yes or no? They are doing the most horrible things and they've always been doing the most horrible things. Because when you have a God-given purpose, life here becomes less important than your purpose.
In this clip right here, we see that he's paraphrasing this phrase that we hear a lot of atheists say, and that's…
all religions are evil, or all religions are the same, and it all results in evil, and evil actions and deaths.
And he keeps talking about they keep causing harm and they've been doing so forever. Statistically speaking, that's actually false. Anyone who wants to cause harm will cause harm regardless.
From the year 0 AD to 2008 AD, there was a study done on how many deaths have been caused by religious versus irreligious groups. Anti-theistic groups, even though they've only sprung up very recently, have only been around only for maybe a couple of centuries, maybe 2 centuries at most, maybe 3 centuries. They've already killed and caused 124 million casualties. If you just look at, say, Stalin, who killed 9 million. And then we look at World War II, which caused 70 million deaths. And this was all in the name of nationalism, which is the idea that they are man-made states and we have to somehow protect them. And this sense of nationalism or patriotism, this is what caused 70 million deaths. And these were all man-made concepts. They were not religious wars or fighting over different beliefs or different ideologies in a religious perspective. Also, an interesting point is, on his worldview, how do you understand that something is evil or inherently evil? Where are you deriving this morality from? Either it's objective, in which case I ask him, where is he grounding his objective morality from? For us, we know that objective morality comes from God, comes from the Quran. But for him, I want to know where he's getting it from. Is it just a subjective thing, such as, this is my favorite color, this is your favorite color. Let's all agree that purple is our favorite color, but that one person says yellow is their favorite color, and not much you could do about it. So some people may inherently think that killing people is just okay, so they did that. When Allah was creating Adam alayhi salam, it says, the angels said, the malaika said, are you going to put on it a creation, i.e. humans, that are going to cause bloodshed? Allah says, I know what you do not know. What does he mean by this? He means that he doesn't deny that there will be corruption caused by humans. That's inherently what humans are going to have as a trait. There were already angels in existence who did not do any wrong. But Allah created humans because we have the ability to choose right from wrong and have free will. So what SADHGURU is doing, with all respect, he's looking at a very fringe population of the people who have done atrocities in the name of religion, and he's just masking that on the entire religious framework. But if you look at the amount of charity work or humanitarian work that churches and mosques and synagogues and all these religious organizations are doing, in that way you can make the argument that all religions are good because they're inherently doing good things. So this idea that just because a group is doing good or bad makes it true or false, it's something that's just going to end up contradicting and shooting himself in the foot, metaphorically.
Actually, just one last thing I wanted to say, and that's just, whenever someone says, all of these religions are the same, and religion causes violence and chaos and all that kind of stuff, and all the evil in the world is caused by religion, it's quite frankly, like, just from the statistics that you pointed out and just the logic that you pointed out right now, it's quite frankly a redundant statement to just keep reiterating, especially these atheists or people who are just anti-religion. It's catchy, yes, and it does prey on people's emotions, but also somewhat preys on their ignorance as well. So I just really wanted to tackle that final thing about all these religions are the same. They're not. Not all religions are the same. And we can't get into all of it right now because it probably needs like a 20-minute video to dissect everything.
Yeah.
But are you forgetting there's polytheistic religions and there's monotheistic religions? And polytheistic and monotheistic religions are extremely different. And then within polytheism there's differences, and then within monotheism there's differences as well. So for someone to just say all these religions are the same, a very ignorant and quite frankly redundant statement.
And it's important to note that what he's saying can also be flipped the other way, right? He says religions are going to incentivize you to do horrible things. I would actually push back and say it's the opposite. Religion is the thing that is stopping you from doing those horrible things. Because if you do something wrong, if you commit rape or you commit murder in this life, we as Muslims believe you're going to be punished severely for that on the Day of Judgment. Now in his worldview, if you commit murder or rape and you get away with it, is there anything really wrong with that? Right? So the way religion kind of interprets things, or at least Islam, coming from an Islamic perspective, we would push back and we would say Islam is the thing that would stop you from committing atrocities, right? From doing suicide bombings and all these things, rather than just don't get caught as a principle to live by. So let's continue.